The Olympic has seen most of the great fighters of the past 45 years, from Henry Armstrong to Danny Lopez, running weekly events under the promotion of the late Cal Eaton and his widow Eileen, who continued the Olympic tradition until 1980 when Don Shargan took over. The modern gladiators prepare themselves just before their big fights down here in what seems very much like the catacombs, perhaps, under the old Roman Colosseum. Down this hallway is the champion Art Frias, who is awaiting the opportunity to defend his title for the first time against Ernesto Espana of Venezuela. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan here at the Olympic, and as we stroll through the bowels of the Olympic, you can almost smell the sweat off the walls here from some of the great fighters who have been here in the past. People like Emil Griffith and Joe Frazier. Of course, great Latin stars like Laurel Salas and Art Aragon. And the fighters make their way up this very staircase from the dressing rooms, and they come into the corridors where the spectators are making their way to the seats from the concession stands. And then, literally, they go up through the seats where the spectators are seated here in the Olympic, and suddenly it's no longer a Roman Colosseum. It's more like a Mexican bull ring. And today, the matador is Ernesto Espana, and he will be trying to lift the title from the very aggressive style of the champion, Art Frias, the Bull, who will have this. Tim Ryan back here at the Olympic Auditorium, where we are awaiting the WBA lightweight championship bout. Art Frias defending his title for the first time against Ernesto Espana, rated #1 in the world. Now, Frias was supposed to be fighting Gonzalo Montellano today, but the WBA ruled that he must first meet the #1 rated challenger, and that is the former champion Ernesto Espana. With us on our boxing coverage as usual, Gil Clancy and Angelo Dundee. And Gil, let's talk first about the challenger Espana. When he lost his title to Kenty and then looked terrible in a rematch, getting stopped in 4, many boxing observers thought the 27-year-old Espana was all finished.
Well, here he looked like a completely shot fighter against Kenty. He only offered token resistance. Hilmer pounded him at will, did anything he wanted to do in the fight, just kept banging him, body, head, and Espana was completely lost, just didn't know what to do in that ring, and finally the referee had to step in and stop the fight. Looked like a shot fighter.
Well, of course, since then he has had 8 fights. He's won them all, 5 of them by knockout. This was against Fowler back in August.
Well, he looks like a completely different person here. You see his body's in good shape. He's pounding the body and head, and he looks like he's in really great condition. He's not the same guy that was in against Kenty.
One of those victories came against Art Frias, a very disputed split decision in Caracas last May.
Well, this is the last round of the fight, and in the 10th round, Espana certainly doesn't look like a shot fighter or a tired fighter. He's really pounding Frias around pretty good right here just before the bell to end this fight.
Well, Frias claimed that he had won the early rounds and therefore the decision, and the Caracas papers agreed with him. Espana, of course, had a different version of the events. We talked to him about what he thought about that fight.
La verdad que la pelea que yo hice la última, la pelea que hice con Frias.
He saw it as a tough fight, but he doesn't see any question, any controversy. As far as he's concerned, he won in the last 2 rounds.
Angelo Dundee, let's talk a little bit about Art Frias. We saw him with a surprise victory over Claude Noel. He came into the fight as a substitute and won by a knockout. What do you think of him?
Well, I think he's a real busybody. He's a guy that pressures you, throws a lot of punches. He's not a banger, but he's the kind of guy, if he can hit you with the right shot like he hit Claude Noel, a great counter right hand, he'll get you out of there. I make it a very tough, difficult fight. Espana, much taller than Claude Noel, and a banger. And I noticed he hurt the guy with a good left hook. It wouldn't amaze me to see the title change hands.
All right, well, Art Frias, of course, is happy to have the opportunity to face Espana again. Here's what he said about that fight.
I feel very good about that. It's the only, like you said, Tim, it's the only loss that I got, and it was a very controversial decision, and I don't feel I lost it. I felt like I was constantly on him with pressure. I forced the whole fight, and I think I beat him. But like I've been telling everybody, it's icing on the cake as far as for him being my first title defense.
So it's a rematch for Frias, and he's defending his new world championship against the former champ Ernesto Espana. And we'll be back. We're back here where the ring announcer Jimmy Lennon, who is as much a part of the history of the Olympic as those very walls and corridors and dressing rooms we talked about, is making the ring announcements for this WBA lightweight title fight. Ray Boom Boom Mancini has just been introduced. Here attending at ringside, and we'll be hearing from him later.
Venezuela fighting out of Ciudad Bolívar. Bolivar. Right on the nose, 135 pounds. He is the #1 contender, the former lightweight champion of the world, Ernesto Espana. On my left, ladies and gentlemen, needing no introduction, out of the white corner, wearing powder blue trunks. Born in the east side of L.A., fighting out of Montebello, California. Same weight, a trim 135 pounds. In his first title defense, a popular WBA lightweight boxing champion, our own Arturo Frias.
Art Frias was given the keys to the city of Montebello, California after he won the world title, received a citation from Governor Brown of California, who we are expecting to be in attendance at the fight today. And it's been quite a whirlwind since this young man won the title from Claude Noel going into that title fight, a total unknown. The judges here today, as we see the tail of the tape, are all from outside of the United States and Venezuela. The referee is Hiroyuki Tasaki from Japan. One judge is a woman, Emma Uranaga from Panama, and the other judge is also from Japan, Takeshi Shimikawa. And the referee and two judges will do the scoring. This is round #1 with the champion in blue on the left of your screen, the challenger in black, standing at 5'11" against the 5'7" frame of Art Frias. They both came in at 135. Indeed, both were 3/4 of a pound over at the weigh-in and were given an hour to take it off and were able to do so comfortably. Judging by the 10-point must system here, the scoring system, operative by the WBA and here in the state of California. Frias, 23-1, the only loss, the split decision in Caracas to Espana. 25 years of age, 27-year-old former champion Ernesto Espana, 36-3 according to Ring Magazine, 30 knockouts along the way.
Tim, it looks like you described downstairs being the old arena. Well, we got the old corner pads going for us tonight, which I don't like at all, because anybody banging into them may hurt themselves. Usually they got those long corner pads. Also, this ring is a very slow ring. They both don't have to worry about too much about being ballerinas. Then neither one are bouncers, so we're going to have, that won't affect either fighter.
Tim, we watched Espana in the gym, and what he's going to look to do is steer Frias around. He's truly going to try to be the matador, and Frias has to be the bull. And the style to beat Espana is to really crowd him and stay on him, which Frias is going to have to do to win this fight.
Old Olympic Auditorium, seen in many, many championship fights over the years, the longest continuing run of boxing events anywhere in the country. And it's truly a boxing hall, as we said, built for the Olympic boxing events in 1932. And it is just the best view there is for fight fans anywhere in the country.
Tim, the thing I noticed in the Noel fight, that Frias takes a real great right-hand shot. But the thing that wobbled him in the last fight with the Espana is he got nailed with a left hook and was doing tricks near the end of the fight.
There's some blood from the nose of Art Frias. That's not unexpected. He has a rather prominent proboscis, but it is also something that his trainer Al Lira says has not been a real problem for him, that he does not bleed readily from the nose. He just took a good solid right hand from Espana, and another.
You're going to see a lot of right hands from Espana. He looks to slide over to the right and throw right hands. Right hand leads, right hands behind jabs. That's his style.
Right hand to the body, right on the belt. Under 30 seconds to go. First round.
Frias got to be a little careful about just running in there, because this guy can punch. Long arm guy. He can pick up a nickel from the canvas without bending.
Final seconds of this first round, scheduled for 15, the WBA Lightweight Championship. Art Frias and Ernesto Espana live on CBS Sports 7. Art Frias, the champion in the powder blue trunks, the challenger, Ernesto Espana, the former champion who won the vacant title, the vacant WBA crown back in 1979 with a 13th round knockout over Claude Noel. Defended once against Johnny Lira, then lost the crown to Hilmer Kenty. Lost again in a rematch to Kenty. Fourth round knockout in September of 1980. Since then, unbeaten in 8. Art Frias, basically a club fighter. Moved into the ranking just before the Noel fight at number 9. Lifted the crown from Claude Noel. Heavy exchange early here in round 2.
Espana's been landing some good body punches early in this fight. Very, very strong guy.
Gil, I think he's learned from that first fight. He's got to come with that left hook, because that's the shot that's going to hurt Frias. The right hands, he can take them all night long, it looks like. But the left hook seems to do damage to the guy. The funny bit with Frias, Gil, take a shot on the right side, won't take it on the left side of the face.
I've seen that happen many, many a time. You can hit a guy with 10 right hands, nothing happens, one left hook and he goes. Or vice versa.
Recent years, we've seen more and more of the longer trunks. We have to give Espana the short shorts award. Maybe he wants to look even taller at 5'11". Those long legs of his do make him look over 6 feet with the short shorts on.
Very, very low blow by Espana. Referee warned him.
Tim, I thought you did a great job with those Japanese names.
Well, until somebody in the audience calls to correct my pronunciation. Good, solid right hand from Espana to the cheekbone of Frias.
Frias is too tight right now. He just can't seem to get himself together at all.
You know, we got to remember also, it's the 15-round route, you know, and he hasn't been it yet. So the other guy has been that route. And I think he's a little leery about getting started off too fast.
A minute to go, round 2. The crowd fairly quiet here. Most of them are Frias supporters. Born and raised in East Los Angeles. Now lives out in Montebello, not too far away.
In previous fights when Espana fought, I noticed that when he got nailed with a punch, he seemed to freeze, and you could hit him with 5 or 6 more. That's what Frias is going to have to do. So far, he hasn't been able to hit Espana at all.
That height of Espana is playing havoc with this kid also. He's having trouble reaching this big guy.
Yes, when you fight a tall guy, hit him in the body. Bring his head down.
Shorts, Gil.
I said the body.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Final seconds of round number 2.
Frias got hurt with that shot.
Challenger coming out of the corner to your left. In his corner with him is his trainers Enrique Centineo and Angelo Ruiz, one from Venezuela, one from Puerto Rico. He divides his time between those two countries, and Pedro Aponte also in the corner with him.
Isn't that kid Angelo a good-looking kid, Tim?
Oh, yes, indeed. With a name like that, how can you go wrong?
I was going to say, that's an exception for an Angelo.
This is round number 3.
I mean Angelo Dundee, all you other Angelos out there.
Frias still bleeding somewhat from the nose. We'll be watching to see if that becomes a breathing problem for him. If blood came in round number 1.
You see what's happening here? Frias has to crowd Espana. He has to get close and he has to throw combinations. But Espana is just sliding a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and won't let him get set to throw those combination punches.
That left jab that Espana is using is being very bothersome to Frias. What he's doing, he's measured him with it. He's throwing a good shot behind the jab.
And now,
that's what Frias has to do. He has to throw punches in bunches. And again, Espana just moves. He looks like a giraffe the way he moves, but it is effective.
Look to the body, baby.
I'd like to remind our local stations along the line that there'll be a 30-second station break at the end of this round.
Questionable punches to the body by Espana.
At the end of that last round, number 2, Espana spun Frias around right in his corner as the bell sounded, kind of wrestled him down. No knockdown, of course, and indeed the bell had sounded. Now there's a bad cut over the left eye of Frias. Frias rallying with the sign of his own blood. Staggering Espana was off balance, but Espana recovers and ties him up.
Espana's got bad balance for a big guy. He's always had bad balance. And when he tried to spin away with it like a pirouette, he actually tripped over himself with his legs.
We'll take a good a look as we can get at that cut over the left eye of the champion Frias. Looks to be just under the eyebrow. Under 30 seconds to go in round 3. Did you gentlemen see a clash of heads, or did you see a punch?
It was definitely a clash of heads. Espana bent, and Frias ran into his head.
Solid right to the body from Espana. More blood from the nose of Frias. Fighting a little more desperately here in round 3. We'll be back with round 4 after this word from your local station. Trainer Al Lira working over Art Frias in the corner, and what's your view of the cut?
Well, it's in a good spot. It's not in a dangerous spot. It's on the outside of the eye, and a pretty good job has been done on it already.
It's not only the eye cut, Tim. His nose is bleeding profusely, and he's really gasping for breath through his mouth. He's having a problem breathing through his nose, and that could be a bigger handicap than the eye cut.
This is round number 4. As we see it, Espana has taken the early lead.
I think one of the mistakes that Frias is doing, he keeps trying to throw those wild right hands, and every time he does, Espana blocks it and hits him with a right hand to the body. He has to set up that right hand, either with a jab or throw right hands to the body. See, there he just missed the head again.
Missing with that right.
Espana is such a tall guy that when he reaches, it leaves him wide open for Espana's counters. He has to feel his way in behind that jab.
We haven't seen a great deal of the jab from Frias.
I'll tell you, Tim, Frias is fighting this guy all wrong right now, coming straight in. The worst thing you can do is go straight into a bang.
Right hand right to that eye by Espana. Frias was pulling away from it, reducing most of the impact, but Espana landed it right on the cut, and it is bleeding again.
Espana is in complete contempt of Frias. He feels he can do anything he wants with the guy. He's boxing him, he's nailing them shots, and he just feels he's the boss in there.
Ray Boom Boom Mancini, an interested spectator here. He is scheduled to meet the winner of this bout, probably in April, for the WBA title. Again, we'd like to remind our local stations along the line, there'll be a 30-second station break at the end of this round.
You know, we mentioned that after the Kenty fight, Espana looked like a completely shot fighter, and Frias felt that he had won the fight down in Venezuela, but Espana said he wasn't in shape for that fight, and maybe he's right, because he's sure doing a lot better job this time than what everybody says he did in Venezuela. There's that right hand again that Frias keeps throwing, and every time he throws it, he has to pay, because Espana counters it beautifully. There it is again.
Scoring by the referee and 2 judges. 2 of the officials from Japan, 1 from Panama.
There it is again. He keeps throwing that right-hand lead, and every time Espana blocks it and counters.
That's the same shot that Claude Noel threw, Gil. You remember? Claude Noel threw a right-hand uppercut, and he got nailed by a straight right hand by Frias. I think he's trying to do the same thing with this guy, but that little difference in height is the big difference.
Also, he caught Noel throwing the punch, but in this case, Espana is waiting to counter. He's waiting for Frias to commit himself with the right hand, and then he counters with that uppercut.
Under 30 seconds to go, round 4. Frias trying to bore in and get inside, but Espana so far has been in command and able to keep him out of there. Final seconds of round 4. We'll be coming back with the 5th round after this word from your local station. All right, we're in the corner of Ernesto Espana.
The guy doing the talking in that corner is Angelo. What he's doing, he's telling him, go on, let your 2 hands go. You're doing great, and you're winning the fight.
Well, I think he's right, but they had 3 people talking in there, which represents his situation from Venezuela to Puerto Rico.
But I think he's had the best voice.
Well, maybe he did, Angie, but I think Espana has effectively been training himself, and from what we've seen so far, he's been doing a good job. Round number 5, scheduled for 15. The champion, Art Frias in the blue trunks. The challenger, Espana in the black trunks.
This round, Frias is feinting a little bit more. He's trying to get Espana to commit himself. He's been there. He committed himself again.
They did a good job in the corner again on the cut. It is on the left eyelid of Frias, below the eyebrow. They had a better look at it between the last rounds. Frias landing his first good exchange inside, and for the first time, Espana backed up. Now Frias challenging him, saying, let's go. Espana has been in charge through the first 4 the way we've seen it.
Tim, this fight's going to be strictly a conditions fight. Whoever's in the best shape going to win this fight. Right now, it looks like Espana's way out in front. What's happening is that Frias is getting nailed with too many good shots. He's better off fighting in close because he got shorter arms, naturally.
A warning from referee Tasaki to Frias to watch his head.
Become a pair 6 brawl now. They're wrestling, pushing, doing everything except boxing.
Frias unable to land a clean shot, but at least he is backing up Espana for the first time in this fight here in round 5.
Frias is going to tell him to punch to the body, but he still keeps reaching for that head with that right hand.
Landed 2 body blows there before Frias pulled away. Frias with his mouth wide open must be bothered with the nosebleed. Under a minute to go, round 5. Now Frias tags Espana and backs him up again.
Another good right hand by Frias. He's really coming now.
Just missed with a big left hook that would have taken Espana's head off. Ernesto picked it up at the last instant. Frias muscling more effectively here. Under 30 to go, round 5.
He must think it's against the law to punch to the body, though. So he's got that tall guy in there. He's got to bang him in the body.
Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy and Angelo Dundee, live from the famed Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles. WBA championship action at the lightweight, 135 pounds. Boom Boom Mancini awaiting round 6 with the rest of us. Scheduled to meet the winner of this bout, and time permitting today, he'll be chatting with Brent Musburger later in our program following this lightweight championship bout. Art Frias, the champion in round 5, rallied well here in the 6th round. We'll have to keep it going, and he lands a good short right hand to Espana.
Tim, what set it up? He's finally coming out and throwing some punches to the body. He threw 2 left hooks underneath. That set up the right hand. That's what he has to do more of.
Art Frias.
There it is again, that left hook underneath. First time in the fight that he started to go underneath. Makes him a guy a lot easier to hit on the chin.
Good body shot from Espana.
A left hook he nailed Frias with. He shot like he hurt him in his last fight. He's looking to nail him with a right hand to the body, left hook on top. That's what Frias got to be careful about.
Championship action here on CBS Sports Saturday, and we'll have the WBC Lightweight Championship February 13th from Beaumont, Texas. Bubba Buscemi, the pride of Beaumont, against Alexis Arguello, one of the great champions of our time.
You know, I'm a little leery about those body shots Frias is getting hit. He's getting hit a straight shot to the body every time he comes in. Flat will take his toll in his stretch.
That's right. Every time he throws that wide right hand to the head, Espana counters beautifully with that right hand underneath.
He just landed a good short right hand, Espana, in the last exchange. Frias looks a little more loose, a little more relaxed.
Right. He's hustling a little bit more. I just think he should be punching to the body a lot more than he is, and forget that right hand on the chin for a while.
Back to Espana up with the left jab, something he hadn't been doing. Under a minute to go, round 6.
Stay busy, Dirty. Stay busy.
Corner exhorting him to stay busy. Frias managed by Norman Kaplan, an attorney, trained by Al Lira. White Rose here at ringside.
Really making Espana work. As Angelo mentioned before, it's going to be a matter of conditioning.
You've done a good job on that cut, don't you think, gentlemen? You're both 2 of the experts in that field, and no problem in this round.
No, he's done a good job of taking care of that cut, and he's containing it.
Little blood from the nose of Frias. Espana definitely going backwards a lot more in the last 2 rounds than he did in the early going. Coming to the end of round 7. From the left of your screen, now on the right, the challenger, Ernesto Espana at 5'11", and Art Frias, 5'7" champion in the blue trunks. Lands a right hand. Again, Espana was able to pull back, taking away most of the sting. How do you see it, gentlemen, so far?
Well, we have Espana slightly ahead, Tim, but the whole fight's in front of us. They have 9 rounds to go, and somebody eventually is going to have to take charge in this fight. It looked like Espana was going to do it early, and Frias has made a pretty good comeback.
Well, we've given him the last 2 rounds on our unofficial card.
That's where to put that right hand. Throw it underneath, and he came back up with that left hook.
Espana missing on that return exchange.
Frias is fighting the kind of fighting I should be fighting. More pressure, but deliberate pressure, because he shouldn't be rushing it aimlessly, because he's going to get nailed when he does that.
Well, one thing, too, is Espana is not counter-punching nearly as sharply as he did in the first 4 rounds. He's had a lot of misses in the last couple.
Got a little tired, Tim. That's what happened. But if he's in shape, he'll get that second win, and then better look out.
Just landed a good right to the body of Frias, and now a left. Tim Ryan with Angelo Dundee, Gil Clancy. We are live at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, California. WBA lightweight championship action. A rematch between these two. A split decision win last May for Espana down in Caracas before Frias had won the title from Claude Noel.
Frias has been expending a lot of energy. He's going to have to be in good condition to keep from getting tired.
Gil, Espana's throwing some real good uppercuts at Frias also right now.
Just landed a straight right, Espana did. Under a minute to go. Round 7.
Frias is fighting with his mouth wide open. If he gets hit with a good punch with that mouth open, goodbye jaw, he'll get his jaw broken.
Gil, that's the way he fought against Claude Noel with his mouth open. He can't breathe from that nose, Gil.
Frias continues to go forward as he has the last couple of rounds. Neither fighter has been down thus far. Under 30 seconds to go, round 7.
That's the way to beat Espana. Punches and bunches. You hit him with one and he freezes.
Coming to the end now, the 7th round at the Olympic. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy and Angelo Dundee at the Olympic Auditorium. WBA lightweight championship action. Frias, the champion in blue. Espana, the challenger in black. A close fight as we see it now, having given the last 3 rounds to the champion Frias after we saw the first 4 to Espana. And since we're not doing the scoring, if you swing around either way, the 2 judges and the referee, they may have a dead even fight for all we know. Or one fighter well ahead.
Now this fight is still in front of us.
Round
very even fight. That's the one punch when he throws that right hand lead, he gets in trouble every time. Ange, what would you be telling Frias in the corner now?
Don't change, pressure, stay close, keep him pushing him, shoving him, any way you can get in there. One thing you cannot do, God help him, is get tired.
Just missed a right hand that grazed the jaw of Espana. Gil?
Well, he just hit Espana at the break, but the referee is telling him to break, and he's not staying in there. And they say protect yourself at all times, and Espana didn't, and he paid for it. Very physical fight, very physical.
Referee is from Japan, Hiroyuki Tasaki. A woman judge from Panama, Emma Uranaga, and the other judge also from Japan. Frias backs up Espana, landing a 1-2 to the head. And Espana counterpunching well.
Espana looks so awkward, but he's a big guy, and he's really, really very, very strong.
27-year-old Ernesto Espana standing at 5'11". Oh, what an exchange there. Both fighters landing big blows. Little blood from that cut on the left eyelid of the champion Frias.
Beautiful right hand by Frias. He threw the jab first this time and then came over with the right hand. Yeah, there he went with the right hand lead again.
Well, obviously, Gil, if you were in his corner, you'd be saying, don't throw the right-hand lead.
Well, I'd be telling him to move him back with a jab. He doesn't know. He can throw 2 jabs, 3 jabs, and then come up with that punch. Or feint and go back with the left hook underneath and come with the right hand. But every time he reaches with that right hand, he gets nailed.
Less than 30 seconds to go, round 8.
He's taking some heavy leather, Gil.
Oh, he just took a good right hand there.
Yeah, I know it, Tim. That's what I'm concerned about. He's running in there, chin wide open, and losing his balance. Can't do that with this guy. He's got to do the banger.
Coming to the end of round 8, and a good left hook from Frias lands.
Hey, break! Hey, what?
Round number 9, Tim Ryan, Gil Clancy, Angelo Dundee live from Los Angeles, the WBA Lightweight Championship, and a good solid left. Back up the champion Frias. Frias in blue, and he lands a left hook. Been a tough fight from the opening bell. We've given the early edge to Espana. We've given the last 4 rounds to Frias the way we see it. Now the referee is asking for medical attention to the eye of Art Frias. The doctor has come up, Bernard Schwartz, to take a look at it. Referee asking the doctor to look at the eye. The cut is on the left eyelid. The corner people, Al Lira in control, have done a good job thus far. Now is there a cut underneath?
Yes, but that's not in a dangerous spot. That's in a fleshy part of the face. It's not dangerous at all. It may bleed a lot, but it isn't dangerous. I can't see any reason why they'd stop the fight for a cut like that.
That is a new cut, a slice under the left eye, and the referee Tasaki came over to talk to his fellow Japanese judge Shimikawa, perhaps to get some English to talk to the doctor over there. Go ahead, Andrew.
The problem here, he's saying it's a butt. He wants to know an accidental butt or a regular butt. That's what the controversy is over about. You know, with the stopping a fight, with a butt, who's ahead. We're running into that kind of a bit.
Well, here's the action. Let's see if we can pick up where it happens. Espana underneath.
No, it's back at 234.
I was pretty sure the doctor said that he was okay, that he was able to continue.
Yeah, but Tim, that's not what's happening here, Gil. What's happening here is they may want to stop this fight on account of the butt. So we got that, accidental or non-accidental. We got that baloney going on right now.
Well, the thing is, Ange, they wouldn't stop it unless he was unable to continue. Not just because he got butted, and he looks perfectly able to continue. To me, there's no blood coming out of the cut, and it's not in a dangerous spot.
They're going to stop the fight. That's what it looks like.
Well, we don't know yet. Let's hold everything here. There's a discussion at ringside with the doctors, the referee Tasaki, and we're waiting to find out. The ring announcer Jimmy Lennon is talking to a member of the California Commission. All right, we're trying to get some information here. What did you find out, Gil?
The doctor said that he was cut by a butt. They're stopping the fight, but Frias apparently is ahead on all cards. That, of course, is not official, but we're going to hear it now.
Here's Jimmy Lennon. The fight has been stopped.
Ladies and gentlemen, I beg your attention. I will explain the decision. Arturo Frias on my right, suffering an unintentional butt. The doctor says he cannot continue, but Arturo Frias being ahead on all 3 cards, he is declared the technical decision winner. Still the WBA champion, Arturo Frias.
All right, you heard Jimmy Lennon explaining the WBA rules. If there is an accidental butt and the fighter who has been butted cannot continue, then you go to the scorecards and the decision is rendered to the person ahead on cards, and it is called a technical decision. And so Art Frias has retained his WBA title with a set of rather unusual circumstances. A disconsolate, disappointed Ernesto Espana somewhat victimized because it was not an intentional butt, so he was not disqualified. The doctor's ruling that Frias could not continue. Gil and Angelo, I'm a little bit surprised at that. You both made the point. The cut is under the eye. The blood runs down the cheek. It was not going to run into his mouth or his nose. It was not going to run into his eye. Are you surprised that the doctor made the decision he could not continue? Gil?
Yes, I was certainly surprised. As you can see, Frias there, there's no blood coming out of the cut. There's no, it's not near any nerve, the optic nerve or anything else. I was very, very surprised that they stopped the fight because of this cut. Even though it's a second cut on the eye, it's a superficial cut.
Angie?
Made no sense at all to stop that fight. It should have continued. I think it's wrong what they done. It don't make a bit of sense. It was not a dangerous cut.
Okay, Angie, we're going to come back here to talk to both of the fighters in a moment. Right now, we're going to go to Brent Musburger in New York. All right, we're back here in the ring. Somewhat confusing scene. Both the fighters are still here. The man who played the most prominent role in the stoppage of this fight, Dr. Bernard Schwartz, involved in boxing 43 years. Doctor, the question we have raised at ringside, Angelo Dundee and Gil Clancy, somewhat of a surprise that you stopped it since the cut was below the eye and would not appear to affect the fighter's performance. Can you explain why you stopped it?
This was a very severe laceration. There's no way the bleeding would stop. It could affect his vision.
But the cut was below the eye, was it not?
Below the eye, yes.
Well, how so that it could affect his vision?
It's still, blood could still get into his eye, plus he had the laceration above his eye.
I see. Where exactly, how would you describe where the laceration under the eye is?
I'll point right here.
Okay.
Extensive cut.
All right. Dr. Bernard Schwartz, thank you very much, has elected to stop the fight here. And we've got the champion here, Art Frias, and his wife, Rose. Art, an unusual finish here. Did you believe that you were ahead on the cards at the end of the fight?
Definitely. I put all the pressure on him. He was just constantly running from me, and I wanted to stick with him. But I got the best punches on there, and I'm sorry to have a hand like this, but I felt I was ahead on all cards.
Okay, Art, I think we can get a close look at that. It's an ugly thing to show, but you can see the cut is quite severe. It looks high on the orbital bone, and the first cut is over the eye on the eyelid, but the doctor stopped it because of the severe cut below. So you heard the doctor's opinion. Here is the finish of the fight again. Can you tell us exactly how it happened?
Well, I think we both went down with our heads. It was that was a butt, you know. I don't know how we both collided heads. I just want to say, you know, I want to dedicate this fight to Father Shine, my pastor at Miraculous Meadow in Montebello.
All right, Art. Well, you did a great job. We had you just slightly ahead on our cards, and the judges had it 79-77, 79-76, and 80-76 with you ahead. The way we saw it, the challenger Espana got an early lead over the first 4 rounds. You looked a little tight when the fight started.
Yeah, well, my first title defense, I was a little nervous. I guess I was a little worried about him because he was lanky, he's got some long arms, and I knew he was going to make me think a lot, but I figured that I put the pressure on him, and I'd get to him eventually.
Okay, Art, we've got the challenger here. We do want to get his view. We know Rose, your wife, and Al Lear will take good care of your cuts. Thanks and congratulations. Okay, we'd like to move just over here and bring in Pedro Aponte to do the interpreting for us. Ernesto, must have been very disappointing for you to lose the fight in this manner.
What?
It must be disappointing for him to lose the fight in this manner.
¿Por qué tú sabes cómo te sientes, si te sientes desconsolado por haber perdido?
No estoy desconsolado porque no me perdí, me robaron. Estaba peleando como quería, cuando quería. Hice lo que yo quise en el ring. No lo partí con cabezazos, se partió él mismo y la primera parte dura fueron a puro recto. Es un peleador franco y lo he derrotado ya 2 veces con esta. Lo que pasa es que aquí quieren tener un campeón y lo tienen a juro.
He says that he does not disappear. He thinks that the judge and the referee robbed him because he has control of the fight. And then he thinks that he can beat any time, you know, to Arturo Frias.
Did he think that he was ahead in the fight when it was stopped?
No, he said that's an uppercut, right uppercut, and he's sure of that because he never hit him with the head. He just hit with an uppercut of the right hand.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Ernesto. It was a good display. We are sorry for the way that it ended. Congratulations on a good fight. Now we're going to return to